Hey math friends, we're going to go ahead and get started with our Wednesday math lesson. Hope you guys are having a good day so far. I'm going to start by sharing my screen with you and we're going to warm up with a song. This is a Jack Hartman song and you guys are very familiar with Jack Hartman. We've done a lot of his videos in kindergarten and first grade, especially with math and counting. He has a really cool video that has times to the hour. And remember, as we're starting learning how to tell time, we're just focusing on telling time to the hour. We'll start talking more about minutes next week, but this week I want us to really work hard on telling time to the hour. So I'm going to turn my camera off and share my screen with you. I'm going to pause the video a couple times throughout so that you guys can practice looking at his clock and telling time on his clock. Feel free to sing along if you start catching the beat.
Hip hop around the clock, hip hop around the clock. When I say the time, you stop. If you're at the time, you say hip.
So I want you to notice, guys, we talked about how on a clock there is a short hand, which is called the hour hand, and a long hand called the minute hand. Right here on this side of his face, you can see the short hand or the hour hand. And over here, you can see the longer one, the minute hand.
Hip hop, then the time on the clock. Hip hop, around the clock. Hip hop, around the clock. Now the time is 8 o'clock. Hip hop, hip hop.
So do you guys notice we have his hour hand or the shorter hand? It's hard to tell because his head is kind of covering up the long one. But you can see because it's not touching the 8, it's shorter. This one is overlapping on the number, so it's a longer hand. But the hour hand is pointing to the 8, and the minute hand, the long hand, is pointing to 12. Remember, when the minute hand is on 12, we say o'clock. So we always look at the hour hand first and say 8 o'clock. Will you say that with me? 8 o'clock. Good.
Now the time is 5 o'clock. Hip hop, hip hop.
All right, read it with me. Hour hand first. 5 o'clock. Again, 5 o'clock.
It's 5 o'clock. Hip hop, around the clock. Hip hop, around the clock. Now the time is 2 o'clock. Hip hop, hip hop. It's 2 o'clock.
Oops, sorry. Didn't mean to make it small. So let's look at that again. So our shorthand, our hour hand is pointing to the 2. We always look at the shorthand first, 2. And every time our minute hand is on 12, it says o'clock. So 2 o'clock.
Hip hop, around the clock. Hip hop, around the clock. Now the time is 11 o'clock.
All right, before he moves it, if we know it's going to be 11 o'clock, where is our hour hand going to point to? 11. Got it.
It's 11 o'clock. Hip hop, around the clock. Hip hop, around the clock. Now the time is 7 o'clock.
So our hour hand is going to point to 7.
Hip hop, it's 7 o'clock. Hip hop, around the clock. Hip hop, around the clock. Now the time is 4 o'clock.
Hour hand's going to be on the 4.
Hip hop, it's 4 o'clock. Hip hop,
job, guys.
Let's be.
Okay. Now I am going to show you guys some practice times, okay? Let's look at the first 5 together, and then I'm going to give you the last 4 to practice on your own. So if you would like to go get a piece of paper and a pencil now, you can pause this video and go grab those so that you are ready. And you can practice writing the first 5 with me. And then the last 4, I want you to write them out and have a grown-up take a picture and send it in to me so I can see your work. All right, let's look at this first one. First, let's look at the clock. I see my hour hand or my shorthand pointing to the number 2. And my minute hand, my long hand, is pointing to the number 12. What do we say when our minute hand points to 12? O'clock. Can you guys say that with me? O'clock. But remember, the first hand we look at every time, we're going to look at the short hand first. And I know my short hand's pointing to 2. So the hour hand is on 2. The minute hand is on 12. That means I say 2 o'clock. Can you guys say that with me? 2 o'clock. And I've already typed down here. How do you write the time in digit form? You write it as, I'm going to make this bigger so you can see it a little better. You're going to write 2 o'clock as 2, that's the hour, colon, o'clock. 0, 0 is always going to be o'clock. So we do our hour first, 2. O'clock is colon, 0, 0. Good. Let's look at the next one. The hour hand is on 5. That's the one we look at first, right? The short one. The minute hand is on 12. This clock says 5 o'clock. How do we write the time in digit form? I'm going to make it bigger. Same thing we just did. We do our hour first, 5, colon, and a minute hand on 12 means o'clock. 5 o'clock. That's how we write it, 5 o'clock. Let's look at this one. The hour hand is on 7. The minute hand is on 12. I say 7 o'clock. Let's write that in digit form. I've already got it here. I'm just going to make it bigger so you can see it. All right. The hour hand is on 7. So we're going to put a colon after that. And then the minute hand on 12 means o'clock. 7 o'clock. Let's look at 2 more together, and then I'll have you do the rest by yourself. The hour hand is on 11. The minute hand is on 12. This is saying 11 o'clock. Make this bigger for you. 11 colon o'clock. Very good. All right, last one together. This one tries to trick you. Are you ready? See if you're too smart to be tricked. The hour hand is on 12 and the minute hand is on 12. What? Well, remember, we always start with the hour hand and it's pointing to 12. So we know that 12 is going to be first, but the minute hand's on 12, which means we always say o'clock. So this clock is saying 12 o'clock. And I already have it typed down here. This is how we write it in digit form. 12 colon 12 o'clock. Can you guys read that with me? 12 o'clock. Good. All right. These next 4, I want you to practice by yourself. I want you to write word form and digit form. So like right up here, how I typed out in word form, this was 12 o'clock. And then down here, I typed out digit form 12 o'clock. I want you to write both of those for these next 4 problems. All right, let's look at this one. The hour hand is on 6. The minute hand is on 12. I say, So write the word blank o'clock. Remember the hour first, o'clock. Then write the same time in digit form. Blank o'clock. You can pause the video for as long as you need to take your time on this. And then when you're ready, unpause. I'm going to go to the next one. The hour hand is on 8. The minute hand is on 12. I say blank o'clock. Write that out in words and then write it in digits. Blank o'clock. Pause the video if you need to. Gonna move on to the next one. The hour hand is on 1. The minute hand is on 12. I say blank o'clock. Write it out in word form. Write it out in digit form. Blank o'clock. All right, last one. The hour hand is on 7. The minute hand is on 12. I say blank o'clock. How do you write that in word form? Blank o'clock. And in digit form? Blank o'clock. All right, guys. I know you're going to do a great job. Can't wait to see what you come up with. Just make sure that you share those last 4 answers with me. And I can't wait to see your answers. And we're going to come back tomorrow and work on some more time. And then we'll do a special craft on Friday. And then next week, we're going to look a little bit into telling time with minutes. So work really hard, guys, and practice. This is something you can also practice at home. If you have a watch on your own, or if one of your parents or your grandparents have a watch that they'll let you wear during the day, you can look at it at certain times and figure out what time it is. That's a great way to practice. So make sure you're working super hard on those, okay? I'll see you guys later.